I'm Carice Laguerre, and you're watching the Voters Advocate Report, your backstage pass into New Jersey legislation. Because when you get involved and you know more, you vote different. Here's some fast facts about the composition of New Jersey state legislature. New Jersey's broken up into 40 different legislative districts, each one represented by one state senator and 2 General Assembly people. These are part-time positions, and they essentially meet 2 times a week every week, with an exception in July and August for recess. And they go over the bills and legislations that are written, that are up for passing and for vote, and to eventually sit on the desk of our governor. Here's what's up in recent legislation. A bill has been brought up in the Senate May 18th for the legalization and decriminalization of marijuana. This bill is asking for marijuana to be legal to possess, use, purchase, or transport with certain quantities. However, would restrict some usage. You cannot use in any public space. You may not manufacture or distribute the plant without a license. You may not distribute or use within 1,000 feet of a school or within 500 feet of any public housings, parks, or spaces. Any offenses are punishable with a disorderly persons charge and a civil penalty of $250, ranging all the way up to $1,000. Or if you are a licensed distributor and you distribute to minors, you could be punished with your license being revoked. Taxes would be placed on heavy. 7% tax year 1 to start out, that would increase to 10% year 2, and then increasing every year thereafter by 5% until we top out at a whopping 25% tax. Of these taxes, 1% would go back to the point of sale governing body year 1. Year 2, it would increase to 2%, and it would cap out 3% every year after. Year 3 would go back into the governing local body where the point of sale was made. So, your local government would benefit slightly, but the remainder of those taxes would go back into a newly established body that would regulate marijuana enforcement. The Division of Marijuana Enforcement would be established, and that would solely benefit or predominantly benefit from these taxes. As for the decriminalization, this law, not very specific. What they're asking right now is that anybody who has had a past offense prior to this bill being passed, whenever it is passed, if it does get passed, is that person will be able to file to have that expunged from their record. What that means for criminals who are currently serving time, we're not sure, but it would be a great question to ask at the debates, because this bill may wind up on the governor's desk. June 6th, we have primaries coming up, and we're going to be narrowing down who are our candidates for the Republican and the Democrat nomination. There are 11 candidates up. Here's where they stand on marijuana. The ones that are for it, all Democrats: Phil Murphy, Jim Johnson, Bill Brennan, John Wisniewski, and Mark Zena. There are 2 Republican candidates who are for the legalization and decriminalization of marijuana. Those would be Hirsch Singh and Joseph Rouleau. Those against it would also be Republicans. Kim Guadagno, Jack Citarelli, and Steve Rogers are all against the legalization for the use of marijuana. However, they all seem to be for decriminalization. Where the independent candidates stand is unclear. On either candidate's website, there is no mention of marijuana, so I can't state whether they are for or against, but you should know that Seth Caperdale is running for the Green Party and Matt Riccardi is the candidate for the Constitution Party. Here's Reese's Pieces, my 2 cents. The Libertarian ticket, of which Peter Vorman and myself are on, we're 100% for the legalization and decriminalization of marijuana. It's not something that we want to place heavy taxes on, especially when the taxes don't actually benefit the people. It benefits a new state government. Is that really what we need? Is a bigger government? I mean, it's not like we are going to see a reduction in our property taxes as of this legislation. A mere small percentage from 1 to a maximum of 3% is what we're going to be getting back from this. What can you really benefit from if you are on the recreational side of the marijuana and you're spending up to 25% of extra taxes only to save maybe 1% on your property tax bill? What we don't need is new taxes for various things. We don't need to fund an absolutely new division of government. What we need is to really focus on concentrating government to its intended purpose. Government should really be nothing more than a community of individuals put together to arrange an environment that would support our prosperity, freedom, equality, and wellness. That's all we need to establish. Any future laws should focus on that. Any future governors should focus on that. Because when you get involved and know more, you vote different. And it's our first step to finally creating a government that does not run the people, but that the people run. Thank you so much for watching the Voters Advocate Report. I'll be back next week with more legislative news for you. I'm Carice Laguerre. Have a good week.